You ready for this mad eccentric? You ready?
Come on, mate, you got this.
Hang on. Look at that knee flexion, mate. Oh. Imagine if it had popped out again.
That's what I'm scared of, it's popping out again.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Apparently there's only a 19% chance that it'll pop out again.
Oh, great.
But if it does,
yeah,
then it becomes a 43% chance of it happening again.
Really?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
It's got to do everything you can to strengthen the ligaments and muscles around it.
Sure. Where'd you read that?
I just knew it, mate. I just knew it.
No, you didn't. Did you make those numbers up?
No, I researched it.
Oh, fair enough. Fucking hell.
Right.
Oh, Jesus.
Right, let's just start the podcast this week. No waffling.
No waffling. Just get straight into it.
I'll do the intro.
Yeah, go for it, man. All you.
Okay, 1 minute. I'll just have a bit more monster. Right, so how long we got?
Oh my God, mate.
Right, I've got my pre at 1, so we've got about an hour and a half.
Okay. Mate.
What?
I've just realised something.
What?
We are now actually officially the Limited Physique Podcast.
We are the Limited Physique Podcast.
Oh,
Only
Jesus.
one of us can walk. So.
Hang on, I can walk. I'm just not particularly good at it.
If I robbed you, would you be able to catch up with me?
I wouldn't be able to catch up with you, but I'd stop it before it even happened. I'd just grab you by your head and drag you
I'd
back.
literally just kick you in the knee.
Yeah, and then I'd be fucked.
Yeah.
And then I'd be absolutely fucked.
You're so limited right now.
I'd get you in a rear choke.
Rear naked choke.
Rear naked choke, yeah. I knew it was called that. I just didn't want to, like, in case I was wrong, make it sound a bit weird. Like rear naked choke. That insinuates that you're naked whilst I'm joking you.
And you are.
What?
Alright, let's start the podcast.
Okay, alright.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the last leg.
Mate, seriously. Any more puns? Come on, get them out whilst you can.
Man, think of some more.
No? Okay.
You start the podcast.
Okay. I'm just going to call it the Limited Physique Podcast.
Yeah, I can't.
Hello guys, welcome back to the Limited Physique, the now Limited Physique Podcast. We've changed the name. For anyone who doesn't know, I have dislocated my patella joint. Patella's a bone, isn't
Just
it?
say you dislocated your knee, mate.
I dislocated my patella. It just sounds a bit more
Your knee
dramatic.
is your patella.
Yeah, and
So just say you dislocated
mate,
your knee.
Can you stop being mean?
You have to
feel like-
overcomplicate everything.
Yeah,
It's always these small guys with no muscle who are overcomplicating things.
but I'm not small and I don't have any muscle. I will soon.
Have you seen your right leg, mate?
Mate, stop.
You literally don't have any quads anymore.
Stop.
It's been 2 days without any function in your right leg and you have lost all your muscle.
Lost all of it.
I'm going to have better quads than you.
You reckon? No, well, we're judging it off my left one.
Mate, did you see my classic shot the other day?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It's pretty good.
How are people still messaging me saying that I've got a bad physique? I look good.
Yeah, you do. You do look really good. I've been really impressed with your latest physique updates, to be fair. Yeah, really good, mate.
That guy this morning, he's not even got like his face in his profile or anything.
Yeah, it's these. This is what
Send
we.
me that video randomly.
This is what we were
weird,
saying the other week, though. It's these dons who, like, obviously aren't confident in themselves. Like, don't really, like, I don't know, like, obviously have something like going on in their life that is proper shit for them, and then they think that to relieve that they have to go after other people.
You know what the best counter argument is to what they say?
What?
Steph Curry has a shooting coach.
Yeah.
The best athletes in the world have coaches, even though the
yeah.
coaches aren't better than them at the thing.
Definitely.
I still apply everything I do, just because it doesn't show my physique.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm hating enhanced guys more and more by the minute. I'm going to end up getting a vendetta against enhanced guys for no reason because these mid ones keep messaging me.
You'll become like the nattiest natty bodybuilder ever.
I'm going to become the natty goat. Honestly, I think if I went enhanced, I'd be really good. But I don't want to go enhanced.
I genuinely think, like, and this isn't anything against like bodybuilding, but I think bodybuilding attracts some real meatheads, like some real airheads.
Yeah.
Because like regardless of whether you're knowledgeable or not, you're gonna make progress. Like as long as you try hard, that's all you need to do. You need to have a little bit of consistency and just like put in effort, and you'll make progress. Like obviously you can maximise your progress, but you're still gonna make progress. You know, if I hadn't continued with you,
you still wouldn't make progress.
I still would have made progress. Yeah, of course. But yeah, man, people are just idiots.
I don't know how anyone who's enhanced could ever tell someone who's natural.
Yeah.
That they can't speak about what they're speaking about.
Yeah, I know. It's insane, isn't it? It blows my fucking mind. I don't understand.
You know, I actually quite like it though. Like when I see that, even though I'm very internally motivated anyway.
Yeah.
When I get a message like that, or when I get some hate about my physique,
yeah.
it honestly just motivates me more.
Yeah.
I just want to prove everyone wrong. That's part of my motivation.
Sure.
Proving people wrong.
Definitely. Well.
Imagine if they'd saw me in my off season. I was awful.
I know.
I look awful in my gaining phases.
Yeah, it's actually.
What do you mean I know? Wait. What's that about?
No, nothing. Just like it's actually crazy how like you're only gonna start to look really good from here on out, or like really good, as in like you're revealing all the muscle that you've built now in.
I'm revealing my shape.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I've got going for me, my shape. I haven't got much muscle, let's be honest. Like I'm 150 pounds.
Sure.
But I've got a tiny waist.
Sure.
And
Mate,
I'm decently wide for how small my waist is. I'm not wide, but...
That shot that you uploaded a week ago, wasn't it? Or like Monday, I can't remember.
Yeah, the lat spread.
Yeah, fuck me. It looked insane. Like just because of how small your waist is, like it just made you look a lot wider, made your delts look bigger.
I don't need muscle, motherfuckers. Who needs muscle when you got a 25-inch waist?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm coming here to prove everyone wrong. 14 weeks.
Yeah, me too, man. I've got a lot of doubters.
Mate, your only doubt is your own body. Everyone else rims you.
You are?
Everyone else rims you.
I know they do.
You've got so much muscle. Prick.
It's not very nice.
Not much update on this week, is there?
Oh yeah, no, not a lot. Not a great deal.
You seen these new Monster bottles?
No. What about them?
They don't have the lids anymore. They don't have the... Look. You twist it to open it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I've started having more energy drinks now.
Why have they done that?
I'm guessing it's some kind of environmental thing, so birds don't die.
Yeah. Fuck the birds. Fuck those guys.
I love fucking birds, man.
Mate, stop. Not on the podcast.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Well, go on. You give a quick update to your week, and then shall I just go through the absolute fucking trauma that I went through?
I've got a little bit to touch on, to be fair.
Yeah, go for it.
14 and a half weeks out now. Weight has been coming off pretty quickly. Like my physique has been coming in very quickly. So over the last 5 pounds, it looks like I've lost 15. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, so I think I've got around 10 to 15 more pounds to come off. The main update from this week is that I'm thinking about changing my split to a 4 time per week split. So currently I'm on push, legs, pull, off, push, pull, off with hamstrings on that second pull day. But I think where my recovery capacity is at now, especially on pull, like I got pull today again, and my upper back, my lats and my hamstrings aren't recovered. I'm still going into that session with DOMs. And also what I've noticed, when I'm going to the pull session on a Tuesday, when I've trained 3 days in a row, my motivation just isn't there. Like I'm battered from the first 2 days of training. So I'm thinking about switching my split up after my next deload, just to make sure that my performance is staying as high as possible. I'm recovering between each session, and I'm really motivated going into each session as well. So having more rest days should help with that. So I'm thinking about going to a push off, legs off, push pull off split. So push twice a week, legs once a week, pull once a week. And I'm pretty sure that will be very effective in holding on to training performance. So we'll see. It's not really something that I'd usually do in the middle of a prep, but I think with the situation that I've been provided with in terms of recovery capacity, I can't lower my volume anymore, like on pull.
Sure.
It's already at rock bottom, so.
Wait, so what are you going to do with the volume that you had on that?
So the volume's staying the exact same.
Yeah, so how have you managed to spend that? Are you doing like...
Because my pull volume on each day is so low at the moment.
Oh, you just chucked into one day, right?
So rather than one set on each exercise, it's 2 sets. So the volume for lats and upper back is pretty much the exact same.
That might work really well, to be fair.
It just gives me more chance to recover between each pull session. So I get 7 days.
Have you got many exercises that you've got 3 sets on? Or...
Oh, I've got like, the only exercise in the week where I've got 3 sets is a lateral.
Yeah.
Both my laterals are 3 sets. And my biceps and triceps are 3 sets. Oh yeah, I'm putting biceps on legs. So I'm still training my biceps twice a week.
Christ, so you had like, on the pull day before you removed it, you had like 1 set on like some like pull downs and rows.
So today's pull day is 2 sets of a hand curl.
Yeah.
Which I was thinking of taking down to 1 because my hamstrings aren't recovering. But at the moment, it's 2 sets of a hand curl.
How the fuck are your hamstrings not recovering from 2 sets a week?
No, it isn't 2 sets a week. My hamstrings are 5 sets a week.
Oh, yeah.
I train hamstrings twice a week.
Sure.
So my pull day today is 2 ham curl, 1 SLDL,
Yeah.
2 upper back row,
Yeah.
1 pull down, 1 lat row,
Yeah.
3 bicep curl, 2 calf.
Fucking hell.
So it's like rock bottom volume already. What do I do?
Yeah.
Apart from reducing the frequency.
Sure.
So that's the next plan of action.
Sure.
And also, I think, so I've got 2 more weeks until my next deload. Again, I'm going to do a diet break on that deload because it worked really well last time. I'm still not really feeling like I'm dieting. I had one pretty difficult week a couple of weeks ago in terms of like energy levels and irritability, but I'm still not really feeling like I'm dieting. So I think I'm really managing this diet well. And I think the diet breaking during a deload approach worked really well in terms of managing fatigue.
I'm assuming the week that you struggled was the week after the diet break.
Yeah.
Right? Because
it might be in that one, yeah.
Because like once you up your food and then you go back down, you're obviously going to have to like readjust to the lower food. But then like once your body gets used to it, I'm assuming you were much better after that, right?
Yeah. It's to be honest, the main thing I've realised in this prep, which I'm going to carry on to Laurence's prep, is being ahead on prep makes such a big difference.
Sure.
Like I'm not stressing whatsoever because I know I'm ahead in terms of condition.
Sure.
Like I'm in a really good spot 14 weeks out. It's just allowing me to put in these diet breaks, allowing me to put in refeed days later down the line to really create the most stress-free look.
Later down the line, mate. What about that burger that you had at Cali Cruise the other week?
Oh yeah, I had a burger from Cali Cruise.
And that Five Guys.
Mate, even when you dislocated your knee, I stayed on plan. I got my cardio done.
Mate, you could have got the cardio done in the gym, to be fair.
Yeah. Well, we'll go on to that now, and I'll explain what I did that day, what my day was like.
Sure.
You start.
Yeah. Okay. Shall I just tell the story about?
Yeah. Let's go from the start of the day and.
Fucking hell. So, basically, I was at work. It was just another like normal day, and
second day at work.
Second day at work. Yeah. I can't really say like it's just a regular day at work. So I've only been there like.
He's had one normal day and one fuck day.
Yeah, fucked is an understatement. So yeah, like I was basically trying out the machines there because again I'm new to the place and they have like this like lat pull down machine basically, and it's just like any other regular lat pull down with a like a knee pad or like knee support, whatever you want to call it. So I put my knee under the pad as you would on like any lat pull down. Tried it out. And went to get out of the machine, and I basically, it's really hard to recollect what I even did, but from what I remember, I turned my upper body, but I didn't like move my legs that much.
Your knee was supposed to be stuck.
Yeah, I think my knee or like this part of my knee was like stuck under the pad, and as I twisted, I think it forced it out of its socket. As soon as I turned around, I was like, oh fuck, like something's really not right, because I could literally like...
That's an understatement. You were in excruciating pain.
Yeah, it was absolutely brutal, like as in I'm talking about like the initial pain. I was like, oh fuck, like something really isn't right, because I could literally feel my knee like move from the middle. Right, and you can't really feel your knee when it's just sitting in its socket, but like I could feel it move from like the middle to like basically like to the corner of my knee, and I could feel it pressing up against this side of my leg, and I was like, yeah, something like, obviously I was like screaming and in agony. And it's a quiet gym, so I called my manager.
You on your own?
I was on my own in the gym. Yeah, I called my manager, and then he called security, and then like we basically managed to get me onto a chair because I was completely immobilized. Like I couldn't move my right leg. Basically, I'll show you like what position I was in. It'd be funny if I like popped it out now, wouldn't it? Huh?
They won't be able to see that.
I know. Oh well, they're not. Oh, okay, right. But it was basically all like pretty much like almost straight, but not quite. And then I was on like they propped a swivel chair under me, and I just about managed to get into that. And then I called you. I called Ellie because the guy who was with me was like, "Oh, do you want to call anyone to let them know?" We rang an ambulance. You guys got here, but essentially, long story short, I had to wait 6 hours. Was it 7?
7 hours for the ambulance.
Yeah.
And then it was 9 hours while your knee was out of socket.
Yeah, so, oh, fucking hell, was it actually? So we had to wait 7 hours for the ambulance. And we kept trying to call the ambulance, right? But they wouldn't, they basically were prioritising people who, were basically, their life was in danger. However, I couldn't, they basically just said there was no ETA, and they'd come as soon as they could.
And we couldn't get you out of the building because you couldn't move, so we couldn't take you to hospital.
Yeah, I literally, when I say I was stuck, as in, even holding, the position that I was in was, honestly, I can't even, compare the pain to anything. It is definitely the worst pain I've ever been in.
Yeah.
In my life, it was brutal.
Well, I'll do where I was up to at that point.
Okay, all right, yeah, go for it.
So I was, luckily, on that day, was it a Wednesday? So I have a rest day on that day, and I don't work on a Wednesday either.
Yeah, Wednesday.
So I was at home, meal prepping, and Laurence called me, and I thought he was joking at first. He was, screaming on the phone, and, saying that he's fucked up, and he's saying sorry to me and shit like this. He was basically delirious at the point. I was like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
So he explained it all to me. So I quickly packed a bag, pretty much. I finished meal prepping. I went to do my cardio first.
Mate, I wasn't fucking going anywhere.
Yeah, I know.
You could have got fit a whole workout in, and I still would have been there.
I was like, Ellie's there already, so I'm going to go and get my cardio in because I don't want to miss my cardio. But as soon as I did my cardio, I got in a car, drove to your work, got into your work, and then you were just there. And it didn't look too bad when I got there because he was drugged up on codeine. So he wasn't in that much pain when I got there. So I was like, okay, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
He's not in much pain. But then an hour later, yeah, he was fucked. He was in, again, excruciating pain once the codeine had worn off.
It was like I was going through waves of pain. So we'd drug me up with codeine, then I'd be okay for an hour, then they'd wear off, but we couldn't take any more. So I was it was so bad. And then because I was in so much pain, I started to panic and I was shaking. And then me shaking wasn't helping because it was just moving my leg around. It was really cold in the gym as well. So I was shivering as well. Yeah, it was brutal. And yeah, after 7 hours, we managed to get an ambulance. And they basically said, you've got 2 options. You can either...
They sent down some dodgy paramedics.
Yeah.
They sent out their C team, basically.
Yeah.
Some old bloke who looked like he was straight off the street. I won't say that. And some young apprentice.
Yeah, fuck me. It was so shoddy.
And so they tried to get your knee back in when the paramedics arrived.
Yeah.
And so they drugged you up with
gas and air.
Gas and air.
Yeah, that was funny.
But the gas and air just wasn't working that well. No. And it hit you later on, didn't it?
Yeah, they should have waited way before because it only started to kick in as I was on the stretcher that they given me. I honestly,
that was the most painful bit when they were straightening your leg.
It was awful when they were straightening my leg and getting me onto the. I honestly thought I was gonna pass out. I think I started I think I was almost almost passed out basically because like when the gas and air started to kick in and they were moving me, mate, it was so weird.
Yeah.
I had a lot as well. I got through 2 canisters. 2 fucking canisters in the ambulance, and then I got through 1 canister later on. I'll carry on explaining the story.
Wait, so the paramedics arrive?
Yeah, the paramedics arrive. They finally get me onto a stretcher.
No, they first try and get your knee back in place.
Did they? Did they actually? Mate, I don't remember. It was all such a blur.
Really?
Yeah. What initially, like, as in like when we were in the gym?
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, and that was the most painful bit. So basically, if you don't remember, I'll explain it. The paramedics arrived, these 2 dodgy geezers, who probably weren't the most equipped to get his knee back in place. Gassed and aired him up. And yeah, this was the worst part, because he was literally this was the worst pain, I think, throughout the whole day. So they were trying to straighten his leg and get the knee back into place. But because we had waited so long for the ambulance, his knee was basically frozen. And because he's got quite big quads, that makes it a lot harder to get it back in place. So they were trying to do that, and literally Laurence was screaming. Laurence's girlfriend, was in the corner, basically crying. I was there taking a video of him laughing.
Were you actually?
I wasn't laughing. I was taking a video.
Did you do what whilst they were trying to put it back in?
Yeah.
Really?
No, I've got the one of you like blowing on the gas.
Oh yeah. I saw that. Yeah.
So eventually they were like, we can't get it back in, we're going to take you to hospital.
Yeah.
So they got you on the stretcher, and they gave us 2 options, so you can take it on from there.
Yeah, so basically they said that we can either go to A&E, and that could potentially be like a 6-hour wait, so like another 6-hour wait on top of the already 7 hours that my knee had been like out of its socket. And my dad was like, I was fucked, I was just sitting there like, but everyone else, I vividly remember everyone else saying, let's just try and go to, the other option was like a minor injuries ward who should be able to like try and put it back in place. So we got in the ambulance, they tried.
The problem was that the minor injuries ward don't take ambulance referrals.
Yeah.
So if you arrive to the minor injuries ward in an ambulance, they turn you away.
Yeah.
So what we had to do was get dropped off outside, like around the corner from the minor injuries ward, and wheelchair him into the hospital, acting like he hadn't got there by ambulance, which was ridiculous. Whilst
I was like so fucked on gas and air, I literally, we wheeled me in and I was like, where the fuck am I? Honestly, it was so weird. I was so lightheaded.
So you went with your dad in the ambulance?
Yeah, I went with my dad in the ambulance.
I drove Ellie to the hospital.
I was saying some funny shit on gas and air. It was really funny. I was like, I remember saying like, do HSBC provide this? But yeah, just brutal. They tried to put it back in place again in the ambulance and it wouldn't go in. So I don't think the guys that were there were experienced in doing that. I think they just winged it. But that would make more sense it's because I didn't know how good they were. That would make more sense later on. So we got to this like minor injuries place, and they basically said like they've done you a bit of a disservice taking you here, because like if they've tried twice to get the knee in and it's not gone in, you might need to be like basically like sedated. Yeah, you might have to have like an anaesthetic or like morphine to actually like get you through putting it back in. So. But they were like, we don't have that, so you're going to have to get to A&E somehow. And we were like, how?
So we'd been dropped off at the hospital by ambulance. We had waited 6 hours for that ambulance. We were like, are we going to have to wait another 6 hours for another ambulance to come get us?
So then we came up with the idea to get a taxi, but the taxi like took on like people in a wheelchair basically.
It definitely wasn't a wheelchair taxi. It was just a taxi.
Yeah, it was just a taxi. But there was quite a big space in the middle, and the guy who was in the taxi basically had to help us like try and get in the taxi, and he was so overly relaxed about this all, whilst my knee was like bobbling around.
It kept on nearly hitting it. I
Oh,
was like, mate, be careful.
bruv, this guy, man,
It's all under
I
control.
felt like swinging for him in my wheelchair. I was like, bruv, please just be careful. And he was like, it's all under control, everything's okay. And like, we had my leg basically, because we were on a wheelchair, but it was like, basically my leg was lifted up so that it was like, oh, they're not going to see that. It was like...
Extended.
Extended and like elevated. But it wasn't very stable, so my dad took his belt off and wrapped my leg in basically, but that still wasn't amazing. So my leg was like moving around as we were moving. And obviously I'm not the lightest guy in the world, so like everyone was like...
Pushing you up into the taxi.
Yeah, pushing me up into the taxi basically, on this like shoddy, unstable ramp. And as we got into the taxi, because I couldn't move my leg, it was like basically almost extended. I couldn't fit in the taxi. Like you'd done all this to get me in, and we couldn't quite fit my leg in because it was fully extended. So we were like, right, fuck, this isn't working. So we wheeled me back out, wheeled back into minor injuries. They were closing in an hour. So Dad was like, you need to do something because like...
So me and Ellie were rang an ambulance at this point.
Yeah.
So
what did they say?
We rang an ambulance and they were like, yeah, we'll come and get you. But it'll be an hour and a half.
Right, okay.
So
yeah.
We were stuck at minor injuries waiting to see if they could do anything.
Yeah.
But we also had a backup ambulance coming in an hour and a half to take us to A&E.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I was too preoccupied with the alternative that Dad gave me because basically I think Dad had... the nurse that had spoken to Dad was like, I don't think an ambulance is going to like be able to come here because we'd already waited so long for one. And the nurse came out and she was like, right, you've probably got one option here, and it's for me to have a go again. And I was relatively conscious at this point. The gas and air had worn off, and I was like, oh fuck, not again, like please not again. Yeah. And they were like, right, just come in here, take 5 minutes to have some gas and air, and then make a decision. And I had 5 minutes of gas and air, and I was like, right, fuck it, let's do this. It's like having gas and air is a bit like having drunk confidence. You do a lot of stuff that you wouldn't have done if you weren't in that like headspace. So after that, I was like, right, yeah, fuck it, come on then, let's go. Like, let's give it a go. Got on also they had to get me onto like a bed essentially, and that was fucking painful, Jesus Christ. But it wasn't as bad as like before. The lady who like, she'd obviously been trained into doing some like manoeuvre because she like did it very well. And then essentially they gave me another 5 minutes because it was really painful getting onto the bed. Gassed myself up some more. And then they started massaging my quad because my quad had was basically like cramping and spasming because it had like been in a position for like ages that it's not really meant to be in, and also I'm assuming it was something to do with my knee. So she started massaging my quad. I was like breathing into this gas and air thing as much as possible. And then she, like, literally within one go, she got it back in.
We were relieved.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Celebrating in the hospital.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't explain how nice it felt. because I just lay there and I spoke to a fair few people that day who, well, not a fair few people, one person, Matt, and he said, like, it's literally instant relief when you get it, like, back in your socket, and all the people in the hospital were like, trust me, it's like instant relief as soon as it goes back in. I was actually just like relieved to not be in pain anymore. Like I was in like excruciating pain for the whole day, and I'd finally sorted it. But yeah, then we had an X-ray after that. And they said that no other damage had been done, like no chipped bones, no like, I don't think any like the cartilage or like ligaments had been damaged. Although I'm going to go and see someone about that. I'm going to try and get a physiotherapist sorted as well, just so we can potentially speed up the recovery process. But yeah, then fucking hell, we went home and I slept, and that was like, honestly, I think that's the best night's sleep I've had in a long, long time. Like, I just passed out. It was crazy, and it's been a day since. Yesterday, I was relatively like sedentary. I didn't do much in terms of moving around, but today I've actually done a lot more. I think I'm pretty much going to learn how to like walk again. I basically put a mirror in front of me and I've like basically been walking up and down. But if any of you follow me on Instagram, I just posted a video of me actually like walking, and it looks relatively normal. So that's a really good sign. But yeah, that's that, man.
Plan going forward, so
could
try and get you back to training next Tuesday. Obviously upper body.
Sure.
Just do what you can.
Nah, man. Next Tuesday's leg day.
Leg day is Tuesday. We'll start with legs.
Mate, bungee jump the hack squat and chuck 3 plates on their heads. Easy.
Yeah, so we pushed prep back 4 weeks. So junior bodybuilding is no longer an option, obviously. Well, we could do it, but it just would be way too much stress on Laurence to do that. So yeah, pushing prep back 4 weeks. First show is now going to be the Heart of England, 17th of September, as the only qualifier. So yeah, starting at 24 weeks out, 2nd of April. We'll start off with just training upper body, probably for the first 4 weeks, and then we'll do whatever we can from a leg training perspective, whatever we can just to maintain the muscle basically. We're going to have 2 sessions a week at work, so at Laurence's work, where they've got quite a bit of Cybex kit, so just to make sure I didn't have to travel so much back and forth at Ultraflex on the train, etc. So yeah, we'll have 2 sessions at work, 2 sessions at Ultraflex on the weekend with me, and it shouldn't be too much of a problem, luckily. This probably is one of the best injuries you could have got. Out of all of the bad injuries you could have got, dislocating your knee is much better than dislocating a shoulder. Yeah,
definitely.
Or breaking a bone. So
yeah,
it shouldn't make too much of an impact on training.
Sure.
Apart from lower body.
Yeah, they said full recovery within 4 to 8 weeks. Obviously, like it would take as long as it needs, but like considering that I can walk and I'm mobile, like it's a great sign.
So he's got 7 weeks at the start of prep. So your legs should be recovered by then.
Sure.
And we might be back to training upper body pretty soon.
Sure.
Yeah, not really a problem. We'll just hold body weight for now. Start prep at the same weight as we're planning to, the mid-220s.
Just making, like, I had a relatively normal day of eating yesterday. I probably should have eaten like a little bit less, but to be honest, like it was still very high protein, like lots of like fruit, like
that's the plan for now.
Veg, just
keep you around maintenance, maybe a slight surplus.
Sure.
Lots of fruit and veg with antioxidants.
Yeah,
everything. Lots of protein.
Everything to enable
maximise recovery. You're basically just doing everything in your power to maximise recovery.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And hopefully we should still have a really successful prep.
Yeah, fucking hell. That seems like a long way away now, but just another bump in the road, eh?
These things happen.
Yeah, they do indeed.
So they got on with it.
Yeah, and that I'm not honestly like.
You've done well. You have done really well. You've done a lot better than I expected.
Yeah, I'm not beating myself up about it because literally like. It was a fucking like freak accident.
Like, you weren't even on a leg movement.
Yeah, I know. Like I couldn't. I mean, it's a bit unfair to say like, I shouldn't have gone on that lat pull down because I'm gonna have gone on that lat pull down anyway at some point. Like
you don't want to think you're dislocating your knee on it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was just like, it was just a silly mistake. So, yeah, on the road to recovery.
Yeah. Good stuff. So we'll take a little break and then we'll go on to the questions.
Awesome. Sounds good, mate.
I think I'm going to change my post-workout meal back to cream of rice.
Oh, it'll be so much nicer now, won't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I took it out. I wasn't enjoying it.
Yeah.
I'm starting to not enjoy the rice meal now.
Really?
Yeah.
Seriously? Bit mid?
Yeah, it's a bit mid.
Oh.
And I think cream of rice would be better as well, especially through refeeding because it's just pure carbs. But with a rice meal, I kind of want a sauce on it. So
Sure.
Yeah, so I'm going to go back to cream of rice.
Sure.
And then have the veg and chicken as my protein source on the side.
Yeah.
So
sure.
I'll do that from next week.
Fair enough. I bet it will taste really nice now.
Oh yeah. I need to order some more.
Yeah.
But I've got some. I've got the strawberry. What have I got?
Strawberry cheesecake.
Is it strawberry cheesecake?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's sickly.
Really?
But I'm going to enjoy it now.
Yeah, I bet you'll really like it.
You can't have sickly stuff when you're gaining, but in a prep, I'm definitely going to enjoy it.
I reckon you'll really like it.
How many questions you got? I've got quite a lot.
Let's have a look. From what I remember,
must have got some good ones.
Not a lot.
You dislocate your knee and people can't.
I know. Well, I've got some funny ones.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, I've got one funny one.
I've got 11. So
Fucking hell.
We're not going to do all of those this week because it'll end up being a podcast about an hour and a half.
Sure.
But yeah, I've got a couple of funny ones as well.
Go for it.
So, shall we start with the proper ones and then do the funny ones at the end?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, do you want to go first?
Yeah. So Argon asked how to assess if you get your upper back fully short. So the main thing that I'd focus on with getting your upper back short is obviously scapular like movement. So making sure that when you're coming out of the lengthen range, make sure that you're focusing on rolling your shoulders back. Like a term that I like to use when I'm not trying to overcomplicate it is like basically trying to squeeze your shoulder blades together. And also I like to use the cue to like really push my sternum out because then that forces my shoulders back. Really make sure that in addition to that you're driving your elbow like back behind your body because obviously that's gonna help with like scapular retraction. But yeah, I'd say that's about it. And it is a bit of a skill. It is quite difficult to know. And I see a lot of people not really utilise a lot of scapular movement on upper back rows.
Some people do that. They just move their elbows.
Yeah.
Think about scapula.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I used to do. That's why my upper back shit.
Yeah, to be honest, it took me a while to connect with my upper back, but I think I always cued a lot, especially a lot of like protraction. I think if you cue protraction,
you have to cue.
You naturally retract as a byproduct of like driving your elbows back anyway. So yeah, like focus on like protraction as well. To
get it fully short, you just got to do both functions of fully shortening it. So scapular retraction and horizontal abduction.
Sure.
Yeah, abduction.
I'd also make sure that
you'll feel a peak contraction as well, right?
You
should feel a peak contraction in your back.
You will. I'd also note that like something I don't see talked about is like the sequence that this should all happen. So and this is like purely anecdotal and like what has worked better for me, but I believe that initially you should really focus on say when you're in the start of like an upper back pull down row. It's the gas and air, mate. Yeah. Ruining cognitive function. When you're at the start, aka like the lengthen range, first you should focus on like the retraction aspect, then drive your elbows, and then look to like puff your chest out / maybe like to get the upper back fully short. I'd probably advise using a bit of like spinal extension. Yeah. Only towards the end though, because what I tend to see with that is you shouldn't really be aiming to move the load with spinal extension. It's just like the
to allow you to get your. You can try it now. Try and get your scapula fully retracted while keeping a neutral spine, and then try getting your scapula fully retracted while allowing some spinal extension, so bending your spine. Then you will be able to get more if you use spinal extension. So it's as simple as that.
Definitely, but you shouldn't use spinal extension to move the load because then
it should be to make sure you can get full scapular retraction.
Exactly. It's literally like you'll just use your erectors if you're using it to move the load, and you won't be engaging your upper back. It's the same with like say like a short head bias bicep movement, right? So
you don't want to use
with shoulder flexion. So for example, you want to maximize elbow flexion, and when you've done all the elbow flexion you can, that's when you go into slight shoulder flexion to get the bicep fully short. You don't start a bicep curl with shoulder flexion.
I think you are right, but I think it should be happening at the same time.
Yeah,
it should be very smooth. You shouldn't be like going into full elbow flexion and
Yeah.
then, do you know what I mean? So it should be happening at the same time. And the same with an upper back row. You don't want to initiate it and then, so it should all be happening at the same time. It should be moving your elbows and relaxing scapula, but that's a good way of thinking of it.
Yeah, as in, I think, I completely agree. I think, like, once you actually get it down, it should be one flowing motion. It shouldn't be, like, all separate things. It should just, like all come into one. But initially, when you're...
Scapular-humeral rhythm. Is that what it's called? Scapular-humeral rhythm.
Mate, you're overcomplicating it. You're literally overcomplicating it.
Shut up, mate.
Mate, if you say that you need a pause in these upper back movements as well, you're just one of those small guys who overcomplicates everything, mate.
Mate, don't say that. Don't say that. You're messing with my head.
Don't do that to me.
What the fuck was that? You're embarrassing yourself.
It's fine.
Honestly, he's been milking his knee injury so much. If it was me, I would have just walked it off.
Imagine this.
No,
imagine if your dad came and you'd done it. You'd just be like, come on then, just stand up.
He would be so stress free. No, but honestly, if I dislocate my knee, I'd be just like, oh. Extend my leg, back in place, back in the game. Cigarette, glass of water, back in the game.
I wish that you could just feel like one second of what it felt like. 1 second. Honestly, like, no, I'm not. I'm joking. Like, fuck me. I'm not saying that, like...
You've never even been 15 weeks out on prep. You've got no idea what it feels like. You're moaning about, ooh, my knee's dislocated. I'm 15 weeks out, mate. I'm going through real pain.
Yeah, no, honestly, like, in all seriousness, I don't really hate anyone, but even if I did hate anyone or I had, like, a worst enemy, then I wouldn't even wish that kind of pain on them. Like, fuck me, it was, silly.
I can imagine.
Silly pain.
All right. Oh my God. Is it much different training 2, 4, 6 hours after a 60-minute max cardio session? What does that even mean?
I don't even know what
that means. Is it much different?
I think it is different, yeah.
I think if you're training for 6 hours, or even 4 hours, to be honest, you're doing something wrong. Mm-hmm. Like, I think there's no reason to be in the gym for longer than 3 hours. I don't know anyone who could be maximising their workout 3 hours in. I told this to Laurence, because Laurence takes a long time in the gym. I think you can,
I could be more efficient, definitely.
So I think, I don't see why you'd be training for 4 or 6 hours, and
especially
you wouldn't be training
after
after cardio anyway. No. If it was for
if you're prioritising cardio, then maybe, but like, then if you're prioritising cardio, why would you spend any more than like an hour in the gym after? Anyway?
Yeah, I've got a good one for you here, mate.
Go on then.
Thoughts on the pros and cons of coffee and caffeine for general nutrition and performance?
Yeah.
That's from Jack.
Okay, so this is very person dependent. Sorry, I'm just trying to straighten out my knee here, to make it.
What's going on about your knee? No one cares.
So that question is very person dependent. I think some people react very well to like caffeinated products in terms of performance. So there is a lot, like there's a fair bit of research behind it that indicates that caffeine can boost performance, like increase energy levels. But in my experience, it's very varying depending on the person. So for example, for me, caffeine makes a huge difference to like my performance within the gym. Like, well, not like massive.
No, it does. It's huge.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it is like literally.
Even if that's part placebo, it still makes a massive difference.
It's literally night and day. Like I feel like quite incredible actually when I take like a stim-based pre. Like, it completely changes like my training, and it has a massive effect on me. So I get like. I get very, very energetic and bouncy like whilst I'm taking like caffeine, whereas, for example, like Ryan often feels like really sick, a bit nauseous when you take.
I don't really get a performance benefit from it.
Yeah, you don't.
I get more of a cognitive benefit from it, which is why I take it like before podcasts or before check-ins.
Yeah.
But I don't get a performance benefit. So that's why I only take a focus pre-workout, pre-training,
Yeah.
because I don't need the stim.
Yeah.
In my opinion, with caffeine, if you're not training in the morning or you're not training before like, let's say 8 hours before bed or 6 hours before bed, then the negative effects it will have on sleep outweigh the positive effects it will have on performance, basically.
Yeah.
So if it's affecting your sleep, it shouldn't be part of your pre-workout routine.
Absolutely.
But if it's not affecting your sleep and it increases your performance, then yeah, great, take it.
Yeah.
But the moment it starts affecting your sleep outweighs the benefits of performance every day of the week, pretty much.
Within reason though, right? So, for example, again, this is very person dependent, but the amount of caffeine that you like basically put in your body is very person dependent. So, for example, the max dose that people recommend before like exercise is 250 meg, but that can differ depending on how large you are. So, for example, for me, I would.
I think it's 4 milligrams per kilogram.
Is it?
I think that's the max.
Right. Okay. So what would that? What
So
would
400 meg maximum for you.
Yeah.
For me, it would be.
That makes sense.
For me, it'd be like 160 meg.
Yeah.
40 kilograms.
Christ. Well, right. Okay. But yeah, like around 350, 400. That's my like ceiling for it. If you decide to take more and you can tell, because you can have something called like a stim overdose or a caffeine overdose, and that can make you feel really anxious. It can make you feel quite weak in the gym. So I probably wouldn't go over like the recommended amount, because it's not going to have any extra benefit. It's just going to make you feel really anxious, and then like anxiety is going to produce like cortisol, and then that's a whole different issue. But yeah, also in addition to that, if you start taking more than the recommended amount, if you go back down to the recommended amount, you're not going to feel it as much. Like basically, you'd have to take more than what you were previously taking to actually for it to actually have like an effect.
Yeah.
When that does happen, I'd just recommend...
You're desensitised to it.
That's the word I was looking for. You're desensitised to it. So when that happens, I'd genuinely take like
detox.
Caffeine detox.
Just do it during a deload when you don't have to focus on training performance so much.
That's what we do. Yeah, I don't have any caffeinated stuff during my deload, and it makes a massive difference. Genuinely, everything is so much heavier. It's crazy, but yeah, very person dependent.
With the sleep thing, so caffeine has a half-life of between 6 and 8 hours, and what that means is the amount that you ingest 6 to 8 hours later, you'll have half that amount in your body. So if you have 350 meg at 2 p.m, around 6 to 8 hours later, so say, 8 till 10 p.m, you'll have around, what did I say, 250 meg?
250 meg.
You'll have around 125 meg in your body. So you've got to remember that. So if you're trying to get to sleep and you've had 500 milligrams of caffeine 8 hours ago, you're still going to have 250 meg of caffeine in your body at the time you're trying to get to sleep. So be very careful with that in terms of affecting sleep.
Sure.
How many more have you got? So do you want me to keep going through mine? I've got quite a few.
Carry on.
I'll answer about 5 today. Oh, this is a good one, actually. So Amateur Genetics says, how would you try to accurately predict your stage weight for a first-time competitor?
It's a good one for you.
Yeah, and you, to be fair.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, mate, I didn't realise you were a seasoned pro.
What?
You're a first-time competitor.
Yeah, I suppose, but I would find it very difficult to accurately guess my stage weight.
Yeah, so take note of where you were at your leanest body composition. So for me, that was in 2020, and I was 138 pounds. I know, ridiculously light, but I was 138 pounds, and I was pretty lean, but probably 10 to 15 pounds off stage condition. And then you can kind of take that as a ballpark of where your stage weight's going to be, because each time you hit the same weight, you should have more muscle on top of that. And obviously, if you haven't been in stage condition before, you will need to be leaner than previously. So for me, I knew I put on around 5 to 10 pounds of tissue since then, if not more, probably more towards that 10 pound mark, to be honest. So I knew that when I got down to around 150 or 148, I'd be in the same condition as the last time. And then I still had another 10 pounds to come off that to reach stage condition. I don't know, it's very to do with your coaching eye, to be honest, and having experience. But usually I'd say make an estimate, take 10 to 20 pounds off that estimate. It's always better to underestimate your stage weight than to overestimate, because then you're going to be rushing towards the end of prep where you have a higher propensity to lose muscle. So definitely underestimate your stage weight. For me, I predicted at the start of prep my stage weight would be 140, which a lot of people didn't believe, to be honest, because obviously the last time I was lean I was 138 and I still wasn't in stage condition. But the closer I'm getting to that, the more I'm realising I probably am going to be around 140, if not a bit heavier. So yeah, use your previous time you were at your leanest to make a prediction of how far you were off stage weight at that point. Then predict how much muscle you've gained from that point and underestimate on the amount of muscle you gained, because usually you haven't gained as much as you think. And then also underestimate on your stage weight prediction, and that should give you a ballpark. But you don't need to worry about it too much. As long as you have a ballpark within 10 to 15 pounds, then you can speed up the rate of loss or slow down the rate of loss depending on how close you're getting to stage condition over the prep. Yeah? So for you, actually we can give a good example for you. So the leanest Laurence was 190, which is ridiculous again. I've never been 190 in my life, and he was shredded at 190. So he in 2021 he got lean and he was 190, and he was probably 10 pounds off stage condition for men's physique, 10 to 15 pounds off. So again, we think he gained around 5 to 10 pounds of muscle, probably towards the 10 pounds of muscle since that point. And therefore we're predicting his stage weight to be around 185 for this next prep. But again, it's just a ballpark. If we need to go lower than that, we will. If it's higher than that, we won't push the weight as much. It just depends on how the prep goes, really.
Absolutely.
Your question?
I agree, mate. Alex put leg day post, question mark.
Oh, that's a low blow, that.
That's brutal. Yeah, it's brutal. Still probably be able to lift more on him on a leg day.
You could probably do one leg.
Yeah.
You could probably do more with your left leg than he could do with both.
Yeah,
sorry, Alex, that's mean.
On a leg extension, possibly.
I think you could.
Yeah. Christ. So...
Go on, mate.
Okay, so Joel has asked, big up Joel, he's asked if you could have a week with anyone, but you have to spend 24/7 with them, who is it?
AJ Morris.
Oh, that's... Would it actually be AJ?
No, it wouldn't be AJ.
Oh. That actually would have been a legitimate answer for you, because I feel like he is your role model.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to spend 24/7 with him.
24/7 with him.
I'll get on his nerves.
Yeah.
That's tough, that. I would say you, but you get on my nerves.
Mate, we pretty much do spend 24/7 with each other. So.
No, that's true, actually. Yeah, it's probably you, because I'll be so used to it. I wouldn't pick me if I were you. I'd pick Ellie because of other benefits of the relationship.
No, as in I think as in you could pick anyone in the world, ever, to spend 24 hours with. I think that's what. Yeah, I thought about this and I initially said, well, probably Ellie, but then I don't think that's the idea of the question. As in anyone for 24/7. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's so tough.
Yeah.
I don't really have that many role models.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
You go. Go on, put the pressure on you.
I feel like if I don't... No, I've got a girlfriend, actually. I'm going to get in trouble. She's going to fold my knee back up.
Yeah, my pick will get me cancelled, so...
I'd probably say Kobe Bryant, when he was alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good one.
I think I'd pick Kobe Bryant. The
mindset.
He's still my idol, and I think you'd learn so much in a week just through being with him. Just being around him. Yeah, Kobe Bryant.
That's a really good one. I might just copy you.
What? Yeah, okay.
I'm trying to think maybe someone
I'd just be a sponge. I'd just ask him everything.
Maybe someone like GSP.
GSP, yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool, yeah.
I think he's got a really good mindset towards being an elite athlete.
Yeah.
That you could take into coaching.
Definitely. You could give a really degenerate answer there, I don't know, this is what I was going to say previously. like about the joke. Like you could pick like a really lame girl or something, or like.
Mate, that's disgusting.
Yeah, I know, but I wouldn't do
Have
that.
some respect for women.
Because I've got a girlfriend. But
I would definitely do that.
you would do that, wouldn't you?
I'm trying to give a good answer. I would 100% pick someone.
Delinquency, pure delinquency.
Right, yeah, I'm gonna go GSP.
What are you like, mate?
I'm gonna go GSP as my professional answer.
Yeah. For those who don't know,
Mila Kunis is my unprofessional answer.
Yeah. Who?
Mila Kunis is my unprofessional answer.
Fuck's sake.
And then I'll leave my cancelled answer out of this.
You got to tell me after who it was.
Yeah. Harrison will know who it was.
Oh no.
Alright. Is it common to feel groggy when you wake up even after a deload? And I think I've got a good answer to this. So something I've realised over the last few years as I've really improved my sleep is I think the main reason people wake up feeling groggy is waking up due to an alarm. So obviously when you wake up due to an alarm, you're basically breaking up your sleep cycle. So you might be in the middle of like the deep part of your sleep cycle and you wake yourself up, and obviously you're not going to feel great coming straight out of that deep sleep state. So what I'd say is you can get apps like Sleep Cycle, which wake you up when you're in light sleep. And I've found that when I wake up during light sleep, I haven't actually done too much research into this, it's mainly anecdotal, but when you wake up during light sleep, I feel a lot more alert and ready to start my day rather than waking up due to an alarm. So yeah, get basically what they called soft alarm clocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can get a soft alarm clock, which will wake you up in that light sleep state, and therefore you won't feel groggy when you wake up. But if you are feeling groggy, that might be due to fatigue in terms of needing a deload. But I'd say that's the main reason why people feel groggy when waking up. They're waking up due to an alarm.
Sure.
So whenever you can, don't use an alarm at all. Yeah. And if you can set your circadian rhythm good enough, I've had points like this in my life where my routine's been so good that I won't set an alarm and I'll wake up exactly the same time each day, no matter what. But yeah,
I feel like it's quite difficult when you've got a job and you have to wake up at like a set time. But
that's what the light alarm. Oh, it's called a light alarm clock.
Yeah. Like most fitness wearables have it as well. Don't they? That's what I've done on my Fitbit. It like gradually wakes you up.
But you can set like a half an hour period where it can wake you up, which is perfect, even if you do have like a job to get to.
Sure. Yeah.
Or if you're feeling groggy, you might just not be getting good enough sleep anyway.
Yeah.
So make sure your sleep variables are on point.
I mean, it is relatively normal to wake up feeling a bit groggy. Like,
I think it's usually because of poor sleep.
Sure.
Because the majority of the general public have awful sleep. Like awful.
Yeah, sure. I haven't got any more.
You haven't got any more?
No.
No one asked you about your knee?
No.
Mate.
I know.
Fuck our fans, you know.
I know. Awful.
Well, maybe they asked you. Maybe they sent you messages personally.
I've had a fair few people like send me messages about it. So.
Okay. Oh my god. I'll ask a couple more, then we'll save the rest for next week.
Sad.
Have you seen can't speak. Have you seen weeks with no weight drop and not altered your calories or expenditure? So this is a good one, actually.
That's a great one.
How much genetics, man? You're the GOAT. He's the GOAT. He asked the best questions.
He's got some really good questions, yeah.
Shout out you.
I'd like to know his name, yeah. I bet you haven't.
His name's amateur.
I bet he hasn't got amateur genetics. I bet he's got good genetics.
I bet he's the GOAT. I'm going to take a look at his profile now.
Yeah, go for it. See what his name is.
Chris. His name's Chris. Shout out you, Chris. He's got a good physique. What the fuck?
Oh, amateur genetics, my arse. Are you joking?
He could have amateur genetics. Could just work really hard and train really effectively.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got a good physique.
Yeah, he has got a good physique.
Yeah. So
shout out you.
This is a good one actually because this happens a lot, and I think if you're coaching yourself, understanding when to drop calories and when not to is important. So the main variable you're going to go off here is your look. So if you've basically analysed your physique a lot over time, you'll know when you're looking leaner and you'll know when you're looking flat. So I basically take progress pictures 3 to 4 times a week pretty much, but I only use one of them really to make my decisions. So if my weight hasn't dropped, but my physique is looking leaner, that's usually a sign that you don't need to drop food and a weight drop is coming, because there's so many impacts or so many variables which affect weight loss. So you could just be holding a little bit more water due to stress. You could have eaten a little bit later in the day, etc. You could have not gone to the toilet in the morning. These things can all affect weight loss, and therefore your weight on the scale might not be reflective of how lean you are. So usually I go off the visual look first and then weight. But say weight stored for multiple weeks on end and the look isn't changing, then I would definitely make a change in food. So it also depends on how much time you've got. So if you're ahead on prep, you can probably be a little bit more patient in terms of changes and hold on to food for as long as possible. But if you're behind and you need to see weight loss every single week, there's not a choice. You just got to drop the food and get the weight off.
Absolutely, matey. Like, we've seen before that with both yours and mine's weights, that like we'll literally, our weight won't move for like a week, and then at the start of the next week we'll have it'll fucking plummet all of a sudden.
Do you want to know a niche tip here?
I thought you said knee tip then.
Oh.
Yeah, go on.
So a niche tip for understanding if you're holding onto water is grabbing your cheeks. Well, it might not work for everyone, but for me, I know if I'm holding onto water because I hold a lot of water in my face and a lot of fluid in my face.
Yeah.
So I can grab my cheeks at night, and if I'm feeling watery, then I might be leaner from a whole body perspective.
Yeah.
But I'm holding more water retention, and therefore my weight might not be moving.
Sure. Do you want me to try as well?
No, your face is way too fat for that.
No. Then you just do you want me to try?
On me?
Yeah. Then if you've, go on, let me just.
Not on those cheeks, mate.
Oh.
I haven't got any fat on those cheeks. They're shredded.
Nah, you still got fat.
My glutes are lean.
No, stop it.
Dude, grab skin caliper that.
Right. Yeah, it's because you're tensing, mate.
Yeah, obviously I'm tensing. I'm not gonna. That's us, man. I can't believe we just did that.
Oh Christ. Should we do one more?
Bodybuilding things.
I'm getting starving.
All right, I'm gonna ask one more from Harrison because he'll want me to ask this one.
Oh.
So, next question from Harrison. He says, biggest langers in Ultraflex.
He's such a bastard, isn't he?
Come on, you're
Mate, I can't answer that.
I'm going AJ Morris. I love him so much. I'm just going to answer his name for every single thing.
Well, Ellie's been to the hashtag Mecca.
No,
so I'm gonna.
It has to be a member. It has to be a member at Ultraflex.
Biggest langers at Ultraflex. I don't know.
This is an easy answer to this.
Is there?
Yes.
Really?
There's an easy answer to this.
Okay, well, you're the biggest langers.
No.
Go to Ultraflex. What were you going to say then?
I can't say their name.
Oh, okay. I can't say that, can I?
Their name begins with L.
Oh, brutal.
Their name begins with L.
Yeah, it's definitely me.
Do you know who I mean?
Yeah, it's me.
No, do you actually?
No, yeah, of course I do. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's and actually I'll do one more from Harrison. Harrison does ask good questions, but they're just...
Delinquent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, would you rather sit on a cake and eat dick, or sit on a dick and eat cake?
Where does he find these from? Oh my Jesus.
He keeps the podcast alive, bless him.
Yeah, he does.
You know, he listens to it with his girlfriend.
Does he?
Yeah, I saw them in the gym last week and they listened to it while they were doing their steps.
Bless him. Would you rather...
Shout out to Harrison and his girlfriend.
Yeah. As in when he says sit on a dick, as in like...
No, you got to squat on that thing.
As in like inside of you.
Inside
like,
of
you're
you.
being...
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what the answer is for me?
What?
Sit on a dick and eat dick. I'm on prep. Cake is going nowhere near my body.
Stop.
I'm sitting on a dick and eating it.
Christ.
I'm getting Eiffel Towered. Thank God we're in the podcast.
Yeah, Jesus.
I'm sitting on a cake. This is easy. This is really easy. I'm not eating cake. I'm on prep. And I'm not sitting on a dick. This is easy.
Then you be eating dick.
Yeah, it's better than sitting on a dick. You'd rather sit on a dick than eat a dick. This is easy. Sit on a cake, no extra calories taken.
Yeah, but I'm not bothered about that. I'm not on prep. But then both are awful. Both are so bad. I quite like some cake right now, so I'm gonna go with the alternative.
Fucked, mate. You're fucked.
Yeah. You said sit on a dick and eat dick, so
Actually, I want to do one more. No, we'll leave it for next week. Next week. You got one more, haven't you?
No.
I thought you had a delinquent one.
No.
Oh, what a shame.
I know. Right.
Who did the intro? You did the intro.
I did the intro. Quick, do the outro. I really need a wee.
Yeah, I need to think my meal too as well. So, that is the podcast. An interesting one today, weren't it? Hope you guys enjoyed it. Give us a share on your stories. We should say that at the start.
We should.
So people know to share it.
Yeah, we will.
Before they turned off, because no one's still listening at this point. If you're still listening at this point, shout out to you. You're our biggest supporters.
Rate us on Spotify as well. 5 stars.
Rate us on Spotify. Give
us
a share.
Subscribe, follow.
Subscribe to me.
Yeah.
Laurence's YouTube will be coming out during prep. I'm going to force him to start making YouTube videos.
All right. Okay. You heard it here first.
Yeah, and that should be fun.
It should be.
YouTube videos will be good.
Indeed.
So yeah, we'll catch you on the next one.